Hello! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm so excited that you are here. I am really excited about this vlog. This is not a vlog that I'm saying is a weekly, weekend, or weekday even type vlog. It is just a vlog that however long I intend to video and film different things that I'm doing in this vlog, that's just how long it's going to be. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited to film this vlog because a lot of it is for memories, but also to document kind of what I'm reading right now, since I'm getting more into reading and like making reading content and making reading vlogs. But the biggest thing is just kind of making some memories, and I'm wanting to give myself also a goal kind of to just do as much fall things as I can, because last month in October, yes, I did do a few things that were fall, but I really didn't get to do a lot of Halloween type things or get that Halloween vibe that I was hoping to get in the month of October, because the month of October just ended up being pretty busy and there was just lots of random things that were happening, and I didn't get to watch as many Halloween movies as I wanted to. Brian was gone majority of the month of October, so we didn't get to watch those movies together like we always do, and so I just didn't get to do as much fall things as I had hoped. And so I'm hoping now that it is November, I can take November with a different mindset and different intentions and actually do some more fall things. Just see how it goes and just make some memories. Like I said, that's the main goal of this vlog, is just to make some memories. I will say I apologize. I just realized that you can see the ring light in my glasses, but I had to put the ring light on because it is kind of dull in here and it is the evening and I needed a little bit of brightness to myself, so you can see the ring light, but we're just going to deal with it. So the first things first that I'm doing in this fall-ish vlog, fall vibes vlog, whatever you want to call it, is my goal is to read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I will say I have already started it. I am on chapter 4. I just started it like maybe 15-20 minutes ago and went ahead and read some of it, and I wasn't gonna get on and talk and introduce this vlog, but I was like, you know what, why not? I don't have makeup on, I'm wearing glasses, my hair's in a messy bun, I'm wearing my comfy little whatever you call this, it's jacket, blanket type thing. You know what, we're just going for it because that's the vibe that we're going for in this vlog anyways, so that we're just going to start it off strong, being real comfy and cozy. Like I said, I've started this book and I'm on, what, chapter 4, so I'm barely into the book, but I just want to say, by looking at this book, like just looking at it, I feel like I should be drinking a pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin spice drink, something of the sort. I should be eating cookies. I should be sitting in my cozy PJs. I should be smelling I should be smelling fall things. I should have like Harry Potter music on in the background. It should be dim. It should be chilly, but not too cold. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but looking at this cover, I don't know why, but it is immediately fall vibes. Immediately fall vibes just by looking at this cover. So this is I am sure by now you have heard of this book, but this is a book that I found. I came across a random YouTuber who was doing like a TBR or whatever a couple of months ago, and she had this on her TBR that she had pulled out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is the cutest book ever. I have never heard of that author, never seen that book, anything like that, and I was like, that is something I want to read because it looks fun, it looks simple, and I had she mentioned that it was similar to Gilmore Girls and all that stuff. As soon as I purchased it and it came in, I saw it everywhere and realized that it was actually already a pretty popular book because it was on Book Talk and even a little bit of BookTube and all that stuff. Like it had just kind of blown up and became famous. I had found this not realizing already that it was pretty popular and pretty famous because of Book Talk and all that stuff. So I would say I'm not jumping on the bandwagon because I got this before I realized that. But if you want to say I'm jumping on the bandwagon, then sure, why not? Go ahead. Call me out, say I'm jumping on the bandwagon. But if you don't know anything about this book, it is a small town spicy romance. That's what it says, and it says on the back when Jenny, I don't know if it's Jenny, but I'm saying Jenny, when Jenny's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jenny pumps... Oh my gosh, I can't speak. It's late, guys. Jenny jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jenny's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jenny's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? I will say that I am really enjoying it so far, and just mainly because it's like if Gilmore Girls was written as a book firsthand before it became a show. This is what I feel like this book is going to do for me, and I really enjoy it so far. I've seen mixed reviews on this. I've seen people hate it. I've seen people like, it's okay, and then I've seen people love it. So I feel like it's one of those where when you're reading it, when you're going through it, it truly is just, what do you like? Do you even like Gilmore Girls to begin with? Do you like cheesy Hallmark romance type movies? You know, do you like all that stuff? If you don't, you're most likely not going to like this. I will say that. You're probably not going to like this if that is not your vibe. I'm not a huge Hallmark movie romance person. I do think they're cheesy at times, but at the same time, do I still watch them and catch myself watching them while I'm getting ready for Christmas or just during the holiday season? Yes, I do. That's the intention. So glad you're here, and I hope you have some fun with me. Let's go! Okay, so as you saw yesterday, whenever I got home, Ryan and I went on a little date night, and we ended up going to Ollie's to do some book shopping because we love going to Ollie's because it's one of those like a hit or miss kind of thing. Like you go to Ollie's and you find a lot of really good books, or you go to Ollie's and you don't really find anything. But we just love going and looking at Ollie's and searching and seeing what we can find. And then we went to Olive Garden, ate dinner, and then I had to run into Ulta, get a couple of things. And then we came home and we watched Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We did not finish it because I am a grandma and I gotta go to bed. So I'm gonna quickly share with you what I got from Ollie's, and then kind of talk about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and where I'm at. But I did get Ellen Hilderbrand, Golden Girl. I have only read one of her books, and it was 28 Summers. I read it this summer. And let me just say, that was a book that my emotions were all over the place. Like, no kidding, my emotions were all over the place. I was happy, I was laughing, I was mad, like angry, mad, I was frustrated. And then towards the end of the book, if you've ever read that book, I bawled like a baby. And it was one of those books where, looking back at my rating, I think I gave it like a 3.5 or maybe a 4. But it's one of those books that I have not been able to like stop thinking about. Like, it was so good that I don't understand why I didn't give it a 5. Like, maybe because I at the time didn't think it deserved a 5 because I was frustrated with it. Like, the whole point of what was going on was super frustrating. And I was like, just why aren't you together? Because it's basically this couple that they have like this special weekend every single year that they get together, but they're living separate lives. Like, she's dated and doing all this stuff, and then he's married and like and I don't know, like I was just so frustrated the entire time, and I was like, why is this still going on? But at the same time, it was so good, and I was drawn in, and I loved it, and I cried and I laughed, and when I tell you I had all the emotions, I had all the emotions. So I don't know if that's saying that all of Ellen Hilderbrand's books are like that, but I'm kind of hoping they are. Last time I went to Ollie's, I found Endless Summer from Ellen Hilderbrand, and so I got that. And then when I found this one, I was like, why not another Ellen Hilderbrand book? I will say I feel like her books, because from what I can tell, majority of her books, if not all of her books, are like summer themed, like set at the beach, set in summertime. And so this is probably going to be one of those books that I read more in the summer and not right now, because I am in the mood for like cozy fall thriller type books. But anyways, it was only $5. Why not? So I have another Ellen Hilderbrand book. And then this other book that I got, I have never heard of this author, and I don't think she is a very popular author. When I went and looked and saw like what else she writes, she really doesn't write a lot of anything that I've heard of or anything that I've seen other like booktubers or readers read necessarily. But it was a thriller, and it sounded interesting, and it was only $5, and I was like, okay, why not? Let's try it. Basically, all of her books are FBI thrillers. So it's basically, I guess, just reading about an FBI case and figuring it out from what I can tell. This may be a flop, this may be something ridiculous, but at the same time, usually when I go to Ollie's and I purchase books, I'm always telling myself it's $3 or $4, $5. If you end up not liking it, it's better than spending $20, $25 on a book, and I can always just donate it somewhere. Anyways, that was my little tiny miniature book haul from Ollie's. Didn't have a huge good selection. Okay, quick little update on Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have not gotten very far at all from when I last spoke to you, which I guess was 2 days ago. I basically read 2 chapters yesterday, and then I've read 1 chapter today because I read it this morning, and I'm only on page 73, which is about like, what, 15% through the way through, because there's like 355 pages. So I'm really not that far. I will hopefully update you a little bit more like on how the actual storyline is going and how I'm enjoying it and all that stuff. I'm going to try to read a little bit tonight, but I also am working on something else. Probably going to do a lot of reading of this book this weekend because I have nothing to do this weekend. More free weekend. So tonight we are having soup, which is super fall and so good. So I'm super excited to have that. Okay, so it is Friday, it is the end of the week. I was not able to do any vlogging yesterday. It was a pretty busy day. I did get some reading done. I read about, I think, 2 or 3 chapters yesterday, and I think it was yesterday, I at least got to 50% in the Pumpkin Spice Latte. Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I was not able to vlog because I was, first of all, extremely exhausted, and then I had some errands to run after school, and I didn't get home till later, and then I was just, like I said, tired and just not really in the mood to vlog, and I have not really been in the mood to vlog today, but I figured I would talk about a couple of updates that I have with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So first things first, I knew this book had a little bit of spice, like it's a romance book, but I will say I did not expect this book to have the amount of spice that it does. If you are planning on reading this book and you're not a fan of spice, so far from what I've seen, chapter 26, I would suggest skipping that entire chapter. There's nothing important that happens in that chapter from what I skimmed through and saw, but it is a chapter that is spicy. So that's one thing that I did not expect from this book, like to have that much spice like it has had so far. And then the other thing that I was not expecting from this book is there's kind of a little mystery going on. I'm interested to see what's going to happen and like what's going on, like why do these things keep happening. I do like that there's something else to kind of keep you going, that it's not strictly about, oh, they're living in a cute Hallmark feeling town, or like it's a Stars Hollow type vibe and they like each other. Like there's something else added to it. There's, you know, like a little subplot. The more I've gotten into this book, I guess, yes, it is Gilmore Girls vibes, but I will say, do not go into reading this book expecting it to be 100% exactly like Stars Hollow and Lorelai and Rory and Luke and all of the characters. It's almost like she wrote this story because she was a fan of Gilmore Girls, and she took pieces, like very small pieces of each character in the show, and it inspired her to write this book. There are very, very few small little things that you will be like, oh, that is such a Stars Hollow thing, or that is such a Gilmore Girls thing. Like the fall festival that they do, and the way they deck out everything, and the way it's like they are all into it. Like they don't do anything halfway. Like it's like, we're gonna have a fall festival, oh, we're gonna have a fall festival and we're gonna go crazy. Those are like really the only things that I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see that this is like Stars Hollow, but other than that, I don't see anything else. I don't think I'm gonna finish it tonight because Brian and I are planning on watching a movie, as much as I would love to finish it tonight. Yeah, because I'm 81% through the book. Like I'm almost done. I probably could finish it tonight, depending on what we do, because it's only 7 o'clock. It's pitch black outside. It feels like it's midnight. It's only 7 o'clock and it is a Friday. I can sleep in tomorrow, but depending on how the evening goes, I will either finish it tonight, but most likely I know I will finish it tomorrow, and then I will kind of give you my complete thoughts. So I finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe this morning, and I have to say one thing first of all. There is more spice than I expected. I know I mentioned yesterday that there was a chapter to skip, and then there happens to be another spicy scene which I did not expect. So I'm pretty sure it was chapter 29 or 30. Finishing the book this morning, I am going to say that my final rating is about a 3.5, which honestly I did not expect to rate it this low. I really thought going into this book, I had a little bit more, I guess I had a higher expectation on what I thought this book was going to be, mainly because I thought it was going to be real Gilmore Girls vibes, and it just wasn't. It wasn't. I will say, I know I mentioned this yesterday, kind of, do not go into this book expecting to have a completely Gilmore Girls theme vibe the entire time you're reading this. I personally did not get that. And the two main characters that you're following, Jenny, I know I keep saying Jenny and it's actually Jeannie, because I started listening to it I started listening to the audiobook and she was saying Jeannie, but I can't get myself to say Jeannie. Like, I don't know, that's a very interesting name to me. So I kept saying Jenny when I was reading it. The two main characters, Logan and Jenny, were to me not Luke and Lorelai feels. Like I did not get reason for rating it 3.5 when I really thought it was going to be like a 4.5. I didn't think it was going to be like a 5-star, but I did expect going into this book that it was going to be a lot higher. And I think a lot of it was because it wasn't Gilmore Girls vibes, and that's kind of what I was expecting. And then the other big reason was the spice. And it wasn't necessarily because I don't like spice, and I mean, I don't, but that's not the reason I'm bringing it way down. It's because to me, this was a sweet, cozy type romance. This is a type of romance that you read to like cleanse your palate, or just like a quick, cute little cozy romance that you read. Very fun and just obvious Hallmark, very original romance type story. And to me, the spice scenes that were in this book were completely unnecessary. That is my personal opinion. I don't think this type of book needed that. To me, the spice like ruined the relationship, honestly. The entire book, because the spice wasn't necessarily until the end of the book, the entire book was going really well until the spice scenes showed up. I just think that it should have just been left out completely, and it should have just been the cute, very genuine, wholesome romance the entire book, and leave that part out. I really wanted to rate this book so much higher when I knew that I was going to be reading this book. I really had different expectations for this book, and maybe I had too high of expectations, but it just did not hit the way I was hoping it would. I'm going to finish my makeup and then I will meet you back in just a second, because I'm going to work on changing out my Scentsies and getting fresh new smells and just kind of cleaning the house and resetting everything. Okay, I have, let me show you, this huge basket of Scentsy smells. So my mom sells Scentsies, and so she is always stocked with all of the little wax melts. So I'm going to go through, and I usually try to switch them out every week or so, because that's usually about the time they need to be switched and like renewed and stuff. And so I'm gonna go through all the scents and choose which one I want to put in my Scentsies to give it a fresh smell. Let's get started.